Amid the cosmic darkness, wind howls and distant drums echo ominously as a blood-red moon casts an eerie glow. A lone black wolf pup, Fenrir, barely alive, emits a low growl, a harbinger of cosmic dread. Before the end of all things, before the skies split and the sea boiled, there was a wolf, born of a god and destined to kill one. Ominous storms gather, blackening the sky over the mountainous landscape. Against the horizon, Fenrir stands, his form growing to unnatural size. Fenrir, son of Loki, brother to Jormungandr and Hel. His eyes burn with insatiable hunger and hate. In Asgard's grand hall, the Aesir gather, their faces etched with worry as shadows dance around them. A somber voice echoes through the hall. Fear of Fenrir permeates the very air they breathe. Odin rises, his voice resonating with grim resolve. I foresee the ruin he will bring. He must be bound. Under the blazing sun, the gods struggle to bind Fenrir on the desolate rocky plain, the clanking of heavy chains echoing. With earth-shattering ease, Fenrir flexes his immense power, shattering the iron chains into scattered fragments. In the stunned silence, the narrator reveals their next attempt involved Gleipnir, a ribbon crafted from impossible things. On the stark, rocky plain, a magical shimmer begins to weave around Gleipnir. The chains visibly tighten, their grip intensifying. Fenrir's eyes narrow, piercing the gods with suspicion as his senses sharpen, alert to any deception. On the stark, rocky plain, Fenrir's colossal form looms, his gaze a chilling assessment of the gods. Fenrir's challenge echoes, "Let one of you place your hand in my jaws." Amid the tense silence, Tyr steps forward, his face a mask of grim resolve as he answers the call. The gods bind Fenrir with Gleipnir on the barren plain. The ribbon holds, defying the wolf's might. Tyr's hand trembles, caught in Fenrir's jaws. A sharp snap echoes across the rocky plain. Bone cracks under immense pressure. In a gruesome sacrifice, Tyr's hand is lost to Fenrir's rage. Bound Fenrir lies in silent agony, his immense form a stark silhouette against the desolate horizon. Invisible currents of time wash over Fenrir, each moment a whisper of impending change and decay. But the prophecy did not forget. The very ground convulses violently as earthquakes rip through the serene landscape, tearing the earth asunder. Cracking ice spreads like spiderwebs across the frozen expanse, an ominous omen of impending destruction. Fenrir's chains strain and groan, pushed to their breaking point as the narrator proclaims, "Ragnarok is upon us, the twilight of the gods." Fenrir, the monstrous wolf, writhes against his chains, a titan struggling against fate itself. With a cataclysmic surge of brute force, he shatters the bonds that held him, unleashing chaos upon the world. A deafening howl tears through the heavens as his fiery breath scorches the earth, leaving only ruin and desolation in its wake. Amidst a fire-strewn battlefield and the cries of the fallen battle horns herald the end of days, Odin, astride Sleipnir, charges into the fray, his spear Gungnir poised to strike. Fenrir, a behemoth of muscle and fur, awaits, his jaws open wide to devour the world. On the battlefield, Odin rides, his golden armor radiating defiance against the encroaching darkness. Fenrir, the monstrous god-eater, stands as a looming embodiment of chaos, ready to devour the light. As the two titans collide, the narrator proclaims, "The stage is set for a battle of cosmic proportions, a clash between order and chaos that will determine the fate of all." The battlefield is alive with the brutal music of war spears clash, echoing through the blood-soaked expanse. A monstrous wolf, Fenrir, seizes Odin, devouring him in a final, horrifying act. The battlefield is eerily silent as the wind whispers through the fallen. Thunder echoes across a desolate, post-apocalyptic landscape, its fury slowly fading. As the last echoes die away, snow begins to fall, gently blanketing the destruction. A voice cuts through the silence, a beacon of hope amid the ruins. But not all ends are endings. In a world torn asunder, Vidar, son of Odin, stands as an unyielding beacon of vengeance. His gaze burns with righteous fury. He sets his foot firmly upon the monstrous wolf, Fenrir. In a world consumed by flames, Vidar plunges his sword into the heart of the monstrous wolf. Fenrir, the bringer of terror, collapses under Vidar's might, his reign of destruction extinguished. The narrator proclaims, Fenrir's reign of terror ends here, in a blaze of glory and destruction, total darkness. A silence so profound, it smothers all sound. Suddenly, the eerie cry of a crow shatters the stillness, an omen cutting through the void. A voice echoes from the abyss. Fenrir, the wolf born of chaos, brought the end of the gods. An endless black screen dominates, a silent, infinite void. From the void, a voice echoes. But from the ashes, a new world would rise. The darkness begins to dissipate slightly, hinting at a glimmer of hope. The cosmic darkness returns, the wind howling through the void. The ancient drums beat faintly, a haunting echo of forgotten horrors. The narrator's voice cuts through the silence. Like and subscribe for more ancient horror and myth reborn. Next time, the cursed cry of La Llorona. Odin, the Allfather, sits upon his throne, an ageless monarch burdened by foresight. His eyes, pools of ancient wisdom, fixate upon the young Fenrir, a shadow of concern clouding his face. He senses the immense, untamed power stirring within the wolf pup, a storm brewing on the horizon of fate. In the heart of the forest, Fenrir bounds with youthful abandon. He darts and leaps, a playful dance of shadows and sunlight. Even in jest, the promise of his formidable future flickers beneath the surface. In Asgard's grand hall, gods and goddesses gather amidst a feast, yet a palpable tension fills the air as they discuss the looming threat of Fenrir. The narrator's voice echoes through the hall. The gods gather, their minds heavy with the shadow of Fenrir. God One declares with urgency, "We cannot ignore this threat any longer." Fenrir ascends the steep mountain with astonishing speed, each movement a testament to his unmatched agility and strength. Arriving at the summit, Fenrir's eyes gleam with triumph, reflecting the wild spirit within. Fenrir lifts his head to the sky, unleashing a mighty howl that reverberates through the valleys, a symphony of untamed freedom. Flickering torchlight illuminates the majestic halls of Asgard, casting long, dancing shadows that hint at ancient secrets and untold power. Odin, the Allfather, stands in silent contemplation before the Norns, their forms veiled in shadow and mystery, their presence a palpable force. Runes shimmer in the air, swirling around the Norns as they weave the threads of fate, their voices echoing with ancient prophecy. The wolf Fenrir is bound to Ragnarok. His fate is intertwined with the destruction of all. Fenrir stands defiant against the thundering waterfall, a solitary figure amidst nature's raw power, muscles screaming. Fenrir raises his arms against the heavens, challenging the untamable torrents of the waterfall. The waterfall roars in defiance as Fenrir persists, an indomitable will against the crushing weight of the world. Torches flicker, their light dancing across the determined faces of the Asgardian gods. With confident purpose, they hammer and shape the metal, forging letting the first set of chains. They believe these chains will be strong enough to bind Fenrir, the monstrous wolf. In a sun-drenched field, the gods gather, their eyes sparkling with anticipation as they present the seemingly unbreakable chain, letting to Fenrir. Fenrir, the colossal wolf, surveys the chain with amusement, a playful growl rumbling in his chest. The gods challenge Fenrir to break free. A voice echoes as Fenrir prepares to accept the challenge. In a burst of raw power, Fenrir explodes into motion, muscles coiling and unleashing an unstoppable force. With a terrifying leap, Fenrir hurtles through the air, a fearsome predator at the apex of his deadly arc. The monstrous snap echoes across the field as letting is rent asunder, a testament to Fenrir's unparalleled strength. A palpable silence descends upon Asgard, thick with dread. The faces of the gods reflect disbelief and mounting concern. The memory of Fenrir's brutal strength lingers, a stark reminder of the monstrous wolf's power. A collective realization dawns. Forge a chain stronger than before, or face unimaginable consequences. Fenrir roams restlessly through the dense forest, his massive form growing larger with each passing day. His predatory instincts sharpen, and he begins to stalk larger prey. Fenrir lunges forward, fully embracing his growing power. Torches flicker in Asgard, their light dancing across the stern faces of the gods. Sparks cascade as the gods hammer with relentless force, forging Dromi, a chain of unparalleled strength. Their faces etched with unwavering resolve, they work tirelessly, fueled by a shared determination. In an expansive field bathed in daylight, the gods form a solemn semicircle, their faces set with purpose. Before them, Fenrir confronts their challenge, a low growl resonating deeply within his chest. The gods present Dromi, a massive chain crafted with unmatched precision and strength, hoping to bind the beast. In the expansive field, Fenrir's immense form writhes against the unyielding chains of Dromi, his muscles straining with each desperate attempt to break free. The chains groan under the monstrous pressure, holding for a moment that stretches into eternity, as Fenrir's raw power tests their very limits. With a final, earth-shattering surge, Fenrir's fury is unleashed, the chains exploding into fragments that scatter across the field. In the grand hall of Asgard, a palpable tension fills the air as the gods gather. Fear etches their faces as they discuss Fenrir's growing power. Realizing brute force is futile, they acknowledge that trickery is the only way to restrain the monstrous wolf. Atop the world, Fenrir's colossal silhouette dominates the skyline, a silent sentinel overlooking the realm of gods and mortals. His senses sharpen, and he absorbs the subtle currents of fear and uncertainty spiraling upward from the deities below. Fenrir remains motionless, a looming figure of ancient power, poised to unleash his might upon a trembling world. In the grand halls of Asgard, Odin sits on his throne, the ravens Hugin and Munin flanking him as unspoken urgency fills the air. Summoning Skirnir, Odin entrusts him with a clandestine mission. Odin's voice echoes through the hall. Skirnir, you must travel to Svartalfheim, seek out the dwarves. I require them to forge a binding, a ribbon unlike any other. It shall be named Gleipnir. Skirnir steps into Svartalfheim, a realm filled with the potent scent of molten metal and coal. Dwarves hammer tirelessly at anvils, sending sparks scattering through the smoky air. Skirnir presents Odin's request to the master craftsmen, who reply, "We agree to forge Gleipnir for the Allfather, but heed our warning. Its nature is dangerous and unpredictable." Inside the heart of the forge, dwarves work with intense focus, their movements a dance of strength and precision. Sparks erupt in a dazzling display as hammers meet metal, the fiery glow painting their faces with determination. With each precise strike, they weave ancient magic into the creation of Gleipnir, their timeless knowledge guiding every move. Skirnir enters the majestic hall of Asgard, the legendary Gleipnir firmly coiled in his grip. He advances with purpose towards Odin, who sits regally on his throne, surrounded by the assembled deities. The gods watch intently as Skirnir approaches, the fate of Asgard hanging in the balance. At the lake's edge, Fenrir begins to drink, his thirst an omen of impending doom. The water recedes, pulled into an ever-growing whirlpool, nature's fury unleashed. On the shore, the gods stand frozen, their faces etched with awe and terror as they witness the impossible. Under the vast sky, the gods gather in a semicircle, their expressions betraying a mix of anticipation and anxiety. Before them, Fenrir, a colossal wolf of immense power, stands, dwarfing everything around him. The narrator speaks. The gods present Gleipnir to Fenrir, claiming that it is just a ribbon and challenging him to break it. In an open field, Fenrir eyes Gleipnir warily, his enormous body coiled with tension. Curiosity battles distrust in his gaze as he contemplates the challenge before him. Fenrir agrees to be bound, but only under one condition, the narrator reveals. one of the gods must place their hand in his jaws as a sign of good faith. In a field, Tyr steps forward, a figure of resolve against the open sky. Tyr's hand enters Fenrir's jaws, a sacrifice for the greater good. The gods encircle Fenrir, binding him with Gleipnir. In an open field, the gods, faces etched with determination, tighten Gleipnir around Fenrir. A chilling realization dawns in Fenrir's eyes as he understands their deceit. Fenrir strains against the silken bonds, his muscles bulging with futile effort as the ribbon holds fast. Fenrir's powerful jaws close on Tyr's hand with brutal force. A sickening crunch echoes as Tyr's hand is severed, blood splattering the earth. The gods erupt in triumphant cheers as Tyr stands stoically, his face betraying no pain. The gods gather, their faces grim, as they prepare to bind Fenrir. Fenrir, now bound to the rock, strains against the unbreakable chain. A sword is thrust into Fenrir's mouth, forcing it open in agony. Fenrir writhes in torment, his anguished howls cutting through the air. His earth-shattering screams resonate across the desolate landscape. The gods stand unmoved, deaf to his suffering, indifferent to his plight. Va, a river born of monstrous essence, begins to flow from the jaws of Fenrir. The river Van gurgles into existence, a testament to Fenrir's monstrous nature. The river Van symbolizes Fenrir's monstrous nature. Time drifts like mist across the desolate expanse where Fenrir, the monstrous wolf, remains chained. The landscape bears witness to the relentless passage of seasons, withering under the weight of destiny. An eternity of imprisonment stretches before him as Fenrir awaits the foretold arrival of Ragnarok. The sun vanishes, casting the world into an unnatural darkness as the sky turns an ominous black. The earth convulses in a violent tremor, shaking the foundations of reality. Stars plummet from the heavens, fiery tears streaking across the darkened sky. The Gjallarhorn's deafening blast shatters the tranquility, heralding the arrival of Ragnarok. Across the landscape, the gods brace themselves, their faces set with grim determination as the battle begins. As the echoes fade, the gods prepare to face their destiny, standing firm against the encroaching chaos. The earth cracks violently, heralding the end as Fenrir's ancient prison shatters. Chains snap, and the monstrous wolf, Fenrir, rises, freed from his age-old imprisonment. The world trembles under the weight of Fenrir's wrath as he unleashes chaos upon the land. Fenrir breaks free, his eyes blazing with primal rage and insatiable hunger. He surveys the battlefield, ready to unleash his destructive fury. The world trembles before Fenrir as he prepares to bring forth chaos. Fenrir bursts onto the battlefield, a monstrous wolf amidst chaos. He charges toward Asgard, eyes burning with savage intent. The monstrous wolf advances, ready to unleash destruction. On the battlefield, Fenrir and Odin collide in a furious clash, their power shaking the very earth. Each blow lands with cataclysmic force, the ground cracking and the sky darkening. The battle intensifies, a dance of destruction that threatens to consume all. On the ravaged battlefield, Fenrir looms, a titan of fur and shadow. With a roar that shatters the very earth, Fenrir lunges. The prophecy unfolds as Odin vanishes into the abyss of the beast. Vidar storms onto the battlefield, his gaze ablaze with a fierce determination to avenge his father, Odin. Before him looms Fenrir, the monstrous wolf, its jaws poised to strike, promising a bloody confrontation. The stage is set for a deadly showdown between a god fueled by vengeance and a beast hungry for destruction. Vidar, Odin's resolute son, stands unyielding amid the battlefield's brutal ballet. With monstrous Fenrir struggling helplessly beneath him, Vidar plants a foot squarely on the wolf's massive jaw. A guttural roar explodes from Vidar as he seizes Fenrir's upper jaw, his grip tightening with implacable force. On the blood-soaked battlefield, Vidar faces the monstrous Fenrir, his resolve unwavering. With a final, desperate lunge, Vidar plunges his sword deep into Fenrir's heart. The monstrous wolf collapses, defeated as Vidar stands victorious over the fallen beast. The battlefield is engulfed in swirling fire and smoke, an apocalyptic canvas where gods and monsters meet in brutal combat. Ragnarok has reached its fever pitch, with chaos reigning supreme. The air crackles with raw power as the stench of burning flesh permeates the scene. The Inferno's wrath subsides, exposing a blighted landscape where remnants of fire still flicker. Amidst the desolation, life stirs tentatively from the scorched ground. Hope flickers in the wasteland. Across the desolate, dust-swept wasteland, survivors gather, their faces grim yet unbowed. They begin the monumental task of rebuilding civilization from the ashes. Each action is fueled by a fierce resolve to forge a new beginning. A vast, ruined landscape unfolds, bearing the scars of a forgotten apocalypse. Dust fills the air, and silence reigns, a haunting testament to a world forever changed. The name Fenrir echoes like a ghost, a stark reminder of the chaos that once consumed everything. New Asgard rises, a beacon of hope and renewal, its golden towers gleaming under the radiant sun. The landscape thrives, a testament to the resilience and enduring spirit of its people. Sunlight bathes the land, illuminating a future brimming with promise and prosperity. Under the radiant sun, the new world awakens, brimming with life and renewal. The air is filled with the promise of a fresh start as nature's cycle of destruction and rebirth continues. Hope blossoms anew in this vibrant land, where every corner teems with the potential for growth and prosperity. Torches flicker, casting long shadows across the faces of the assembled Asgardians. They raise their goblets high, a mixture of relief and sorrow etched on their faces. Banners bearing the symbols of fallen heroes hang solemnly amidst the celebratory decorations. Under the vibrant sun, the forest awakens. Life bursts forth as plants unfurl. Creatures emerge, drawn to the revitalized world. A symphony of life echoes through the trees. The forest thrives, a testament to nature's resilience. The mountains rise, their peaks piercing the sky. They symbolize the enduring strength of the earth. Silent sentinels, they have stood for millennia. The lake stretches wide, its waters shimmering under the sun's embrace. Clean, fresh water sustains all life, a vital source in the serene landscape. The river flows, providing sustenance for all living things. The sun dominates the sky, casting a radiant glow upon the pristine new world. Warmth descends from above, enveloping the land in gentle light. The expansive sky radiates with the promise of a fresh beginning. The black screen extends endlessly, a void swallowing all light and sound. A distant hum pierces the silence, a subtle reminder of unseen forces at play. From the void, a voice echoes, "The cycle of destruction and renewal will continue forever." The black screen stretches into infinity, a canvas of absolute darkness. From the void, a voice echoes, a beacon of light in the all-encompassing night. Even in the darkest of times, there is always hope for a new beginning. The darkness remains, but the echo of hope lingers, promising a dawn yet to come. The screen remains an abyss of pure darkness, unbroken and absolute. From the void, a voice echoes, resonating with the weight of ages. Let us learn from the past and strive to create a better future. The darkness persists, urging reflection on the narrator's call for a brighter tomorrow. The screen fades to complete black, a canvas for the unknown. Silence descends, inviting contemplation of the universe's profound secrets. The void lingers, filled only with the echo of the narrator's final words.